Hey friends, welcome back to Vince and Gigi's Super Channel G. Look how incredible this set of Marvel Legends looks. I can't wait to show you just how incredible it is. And I want to thank our friends at Hasbro for making this all possible. Thank you for hooking us up, guys. So guys, we're gonna go ahead and get started. If you have not already subscribed to our channel, please subscribe below. Hit the notification bell next to it so you get notified every time we have a new video come out. Talk to us in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you, and we read them all. And let us know where in the world you're watching from. Just click that share button so you can share this with everyone who would love it. And guys, why don't we go ahead and get started? What do you say? Right now.
It's so nice to meet you, Gigi.
Super Channel G.
Vince and Gigi, Super Channel G.
Vince and Gigi from Super Channel G.
Vince and Gigi from Super Channel G. I will see you on the TV.
Congratulations on all your success.
Super Channel G. Welcome back, friends, to Vince and Gigi's Super Channel G. I'm so excited to get started. This is the Spider-Man, of course, Marvel Legends set for the figures that are for Spider-Man Far From Home. I'm so excited. Look, these did not come out until June 23rd, of course. That was the release date, and we're gonna get these all opened right now. I'm so excited. I can't tell you just how excited I am. And I do want to thank our friends at Hasbro for again hooking us up. Thank you so much, guys. Hasbro is amazing. We love you guys, and thank you for making this possible today. So we're gonna go ahead and dive right on in. And so let's take a look to see who is in this set. This set is just so unbelievably amazing. You're gonna love it. You're gonna want to watch this from beginning to end. And so right here, once again, this is the Molten Man Build-A-Figure series, the wave of Marvel Legends, and this has Spider-Man with the upgrade suit, Marvel's Mysterio from, of course, the movie, Spider-Man in the stealth suit, Hydro Man, Doppelganger from the from the comics, Spider-Woman from the comics, and Marvel Scorpion from the comics. And let me not forget to mention, I'm pretty sure this Hydro Man is from the comics also. But these, and of course, the Build-A-Figure Molten Man before I get ahead of myself. And so these four are from the movie. I'm pretty sure this one is not, and that would make these four not from the movie, obviously. But that's quite alright, because every single one of these characters is just unreal. It's so amazing. And then of course we get to the Build-A-Figures. So I can't wait to dive right on it. I'm sure you can't either. So why don't we take a look right here at our Spider-Man, and let's jump right on into this unboxing and review. Okay, so here I am. Ooh, got goosebumps. So right here we have Spider-Man. Let's go ahead and raise our camera just a bit, just a smidge. So of course we said this is Molten Man Build-A-Figure. Look at this awesome StarTech Spider and this black and red suit. Look at this beautiful logo right here, and look at that spider with a little bit of paint spatter right there. That looks awesome. Loving that. So look at this box for our first Spider-Man with the upgrade suit. Looks like it's the same picture mirror image on both sides. Look at that. Super cool. Look at that awesome texture on that suit. And then look, it is a different picture than the one on the sides. So that's awesome. And let's see what it says here about Spider-Man. Look at this awesome art right here. So it says, Peter Parker continues his adventures as the web-slinging superhero Spider-Man. Wow, that looks incredible. Now, one thing I did notice right away, so let me bring this out, is that there's wonderful art, but they went for a more faded color look. I don't know if you can tell right here, but I sure can. And so usually there's like really strong popping out colors. Let me see if I have one right here. That happened. Of course, this is a picture of actual like the product. So this is Marvel's Magic, but showing you, look how deep and popping these colors are, where these are intentional. Obviously it's intentional the way they faded this. And then here's one that's not a picture, but you know, a drawing for Marvel's Mystique. And once again, look how solid and bold these colors are, where this is intentionally like kind of faded looking. So just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there. You know what? Let's see. I do have, for example, this is from Homecoming, and look how where this is kind of faded looking. This is still like deep and dark and colors. So just throwing that out there. But anyway, let's jump right on in. Enough about that. Let's take a look at our figure. Alright, so first off, we have this Spider-Man with the upgrade suit. And he looks absolutely outstanding. Let's get him on out here. Let's pop him right on out. And let's get closer and let's zoom on in. Let's see what we got here. First of all, look at this head sculpt. This head sculpt looks great. Look at that. Looks absolutely amazing. Wow, look at that. Okay, let's see how far back this head goes. Wow, a pretty good amount. A pretty good amount back. Look at that. Let's see forward. An extremely good amount. Look at that. And so his head obviously rocks forward and back with that extra joint. Look at that. Cool. And then of course pivots slightly like that and turns all the way. So we got some great mobility there. Awesome that we get to see that he has this butterfly joint right here. Look at that. That comes all the way back like that, which we're not gonna want him like this, but we do want the ability to be able to move the arm further in and further out in certain circumstances. Look at that. Doesn't that look awesome? So I'm excited about that. Let's see how the shoulders move. So this is a really well-built Spider-Man. Really well-built Spider-Man. Look at this. Smooth. Moves there, moves just above the bicep. Nice and fluid motion. And guess what? All these joints feel nice and solid. And not stuck, just solid. We got double joints here, so we can bring the arms pretty far in. So this is a well-built figure. Of course, we have this web shooting hand. We have this fist. Oh, it's not a fist. It's something to hold something with. Interesting. So his wrist goes back and forth. So does this one. And we'll be able to shoot web. Now, what I like about this is look how well he's able to extend his arm pretty well. Because we've had some Spider-Man where the best it does is this, and you don't want him having to shoot out of a limp arm like that. You want him to be able to cast it out like that. Look at that. So that looks absolutely wonderful. Look at this awesome Stark Tech Spider right here. Look how we're able to get some good ab crunch, and it's some pretty awesome ab crunch. So that looks good. We're able to turn at the waist, and man, I can't say enough how well built this figure is. You can just tell. All right, so got that going. We got some really good joints here. Look, nice and solid, and they have some great articulation. That moves in the high part of the thigh. It does not have that extra shin joint here, but I'll tell you what, I really have over time not really cared for that shin joint. It's always loose, and it doesn't really help with the articulation of our figure very much. So it's like more trouble because usually it's harder to stand them. So here's good point and flex, and then a pivot and whatever. Got it going good. And so yes, this Spider-Man is pretty outstanding. Look at that. How do we want to pose him? So we can think of probably a billion different ways. So we can have him swinging, we can have him crawling. Look at that. We can have him shooting web. Let's bring this as if it's a fist. And let's see what the other arms are that we have over there. So I'm gonna set them aside right here so we can take a look. And so it looks like, wow, another open hand and another web shooting hand. So obviously, so we can have both hands match if we want. I'm assuming this hand is open. That way, in case we wanted to do, hold some spider web. But I think this is pretty good. So I'm really digging this. I'm liking the way this looks. And so let me see if I can get this pose to stay so we can get him on up here. Look at that. So I think that's pretty good right there. All right, so let's zoom out. Let's see how he looks if we post him right here. I think he looks great. Look at that. Let's just zoom in to make sure. And then I said all that, and then I still have his arm slightly limp. But I do like the way it looks. Look at that. All right, that's great. All right, let's move on to our next figure. Which next is Marvel's Mysterio, of course. These are Marvel Legends. Why would it be anything else? So let's get our camera back on up here and let's get a really good shot of this and look how awesome Marvel's Mysterio looks. This is Jake Gyllenhaal's figure. Now the first thing that stands out to me is that I wish they would have included an alternate head to have Jake Gyllenhaal's head as Mysterio, so we could swap that out and not just have that. But nonetheless, this is still an outstanding figure, and I appreciate we have at least this for accessories, because when there's 0 accessories, that's when it's kind of a bummer. Oh, and I didn't even mention Spider-Man upgrade suit has no Build-A-Figure piece. I forgot to mention that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, they correspond right here. And then Spider-Man, he's the lead in the group, and of course I'm sure he's the one that's going to sell the most, but he also does not come with a Build-A-Figure piece, but he is a part of this set, so we definitely want him to complete our set. So look at Mysterio. It looks like it's the same picture 3 times, and these 2 are just mirror images. It still looks great. Look at that. Look at that great suit. And let's take a look, see what it says. Back here he comes with part 1. Let's see, that is the leg, the big melty leg of Molten Man. And so, yep. Alright, so let's get him on out and let's take a look. Well, actually, before I get ahead of myself, let's read what it says in the back. So, Marvel's Mysterio. The master illusionist Mysterio battles his foe, Spider-Man, using his wits and the technology embedded in his suit. So, now you've seen the previews, I've seen the previews. Definitely he's siding with Spider-Man. He's saying he's coming from the multiverse, a tore hole in our universe, blah, 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 blah. Clearly, according to this, which obviously is a minor spoiler, he's going to betray Spider-Man. From what that says, I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. The movie comes out in just a couple days, and I'm excited to see it. But based on that, it's probably not wrong. I'm sure he's going to betray Spider-Man and Nick Fury and so on. So here is this first big clunky melty leg from Molten Man, and you can see where it's really like hot right here where it's burning, and then here's where all the metal just like melting down, and it's like I love the fact that the foot does pivot. It goes back and forth slightly, and then it bends right here at the knee. So we'll send this to the side right now. And let's take a look at our action figure. Push him out, but be careful here because it's probably attached. So let's make sure we support the cape and kind of pinch it like this and push it out. We don't want it to tear. We don't want anything to break. So there are 2 fist hands. Look at that. So that's good, but I don't want to have 2 fists. I'd be happy having 1. But all right, let's take a look. So Mysterio's head's a little bit looser than I would have liked, but I'm sure it's still good. It tilts and pivots. It's on there. It feels like it's on there, right? And I'm assuming this is the front, so when you turn it like that. But I'm pretty sure he doesn't need to turn his head because the head inside the dome probably turns, and his head goes side to side, but this doesn't turn with it, I'm pretty sure. Now, so, you know, I just noticed this. And I'm not sure how this is supposed to be, but if you'll notice right here, these are not the exact same shape, and I don't know if mine's a defect or if it's really supposed to be like that. I don't know. Haven't seen the movie. Not sure. That might be the right way it's supposed to be. I don't know, but that did stand out to me, so don't know if mine's defective or that's how it's supposed to be, but clearly these are not the exact same shape, even though they appear like they would be. So look at that cool eye little symbol right there. This cape has this peg right here, which is not a circle. It looks like it is either some sort of like triangle or pentagon, and it goes right in there. It looks really cool. It's not permanently attached, so obviously you could take it off if you take this helmet off. Just pop that out or twist, and then that could come off. But I don't really want it to come off. So it's pretty soft plastic here, or vinyl, or whatever this is. And look at these really cool symbols right here. Isn't that awesome? For this master illusionist. So this looks absolutely great. Look at the detail on his suit. Let's zoom on in here. Look at the great detail on his arms. Look right here on his forearms. Look at that. These awesome gloves. Look at that. So I wonder what's going to happen, how they're going to explain him flying and so on. I'm just super excited about this movie. He moves right here underneath the rib cage. This is how he pivots. Look at that. And then this is his full ab crunch. He doesn't do much more than that. He does not turn at the waist. And so, yeah, let's see. He's got really good joints right here at the knees. Look at how cool this looks. So he turns on the high part of the thigh. Look at these amazing boots. And then right here pivots at the foot. Look at that. Moves pretty well. This is a little looser than I thought it would be. This one's a little tighter. But look at that. Just outstanding detail. Look at this suit. Love the colors. Love the texture. Love everything about it. Look at the awesome detail on the back of his suit. So this is just an outstanding figure all around. The arms move really well. Let's see. Ooh, the shoulder's a little tighter than I would like. So you have to push the shoulder in and not just push here, because look, you'll crack the arm off. You don't want to crack it right there at the joint. So making sure that you push on the shoulder and not on this part, because look, you push hard enough, it'll crack. Now obviously it's moving, but it gets stuck. So practice it well enough, you'll make sure you take care of your figure. We have double joints in the arms, and look, they actually come in pretty well, despite the fact that it has these forearm armor right here. And the wrist goes back and forth and around nicely. Same thing with this one. It's not a mirror image hand. They're slightly different. And then of course this one comes in well too. Let's see. This shoulder, oof, this one's worse than the other one. So they spin well, but as far as them going in and out, a little scary. I don't want to crack the arm off. But nonetheless, they do work good. So let's see how we can pose him. Let's have him like this, like if he's raising himself up. Look at that. I think that's cool. But if we're gonna do it like that, we need him to either stand tall or put him on a stand. And if we put him on a stand, like levitating, floating, we would want to put his feet slightly down like that and his legs together. So he'd be like this, like that, and then floating on over here, which would be really cool. Or we can just have him stand like this. We can spread his legs a little bit, and then we can use the cape to have him stand. So that looks great. I certainly think so. Look at that. Now the cool thing is, if we use the stand, we can put it right here, and we can have his cape look like it's flowing. Look at that. So that would be awesome. So let's just have him stand right here for now, and we'll move on to our next figure. Look at that. Doesn't that look absolutely outstanding? Let's move Spider-Man just a smidge over. And look at that. Look at that awesome Mysterio. He looks absolutely outstanding. And there's that Spider-Man right there. Okay, so let's move on to our next figure. And next we have Spider-Man in the stealth suit. Let's get back up here. Let's take a little look. And he looks absolutely outstanding. Looks like he has, we can swap his hands out so that they have, instead of two fists, we can have this web casting. And then we have a head with a, look at his tech glasses here. So let's see what it looks like here. Look at this awesome art. It's a mirror image on both sides. That looks absolutely great. We don't know all the things he can do in this suit yet. We haven't seen the movie. Movie hasn't come out yet. So we'll find out soon enough. And this one comes with, let's see, two is the left arm, the big melty arm of Molten Man. So let's read what it says back here and get them all open. So it says, Spider-Man Peter Parker gears up in an upgraded suit to take on new challenges and new enemies. Wow, this is a really great picture. So let's get this bad boy open and let's see what we got going on here. Take a look at this. Whoa, this big heavy arm. I'm excited about that. I'm excited to get it open, and let's take a look. All right, so first of all, for this huge Molten Man arm. Wow, look at that. Look at that melty thumb. Look at this arm. He's kind of like carrying himself like he, I guess like a gorilla would, right? Walking on his knuckles. And wow, it's even slightly different color. Look how it's more burnt color looking. Not sure if it's on purpose or not, but wow, look, that just popped off. Okay, and then of course we have this orange, reddish orange that's of course glowing, supposed to be red hot. So let's see the shoulder. Wow, it does move more than I thought it would. Look at that. And then it kind of just pivots that way. And then it turns right here in the high part where the bicep, I guess, would be. So that's a really long arm. Let's see how big it is compared to it. Wow, it's big. Okay, we'll set that aside. Oh, and look, here we have some sort of like steel beam. It's also burning hot. So the steel beam probably goes in. Look, there's a guide right there. It goes pointing out, like so. Boom. Because he's just all sorts of melting metal. Alright, so let's take a look at our Spider-Man. Oops, didn't mean to knock us down like that. Let's get closer here. And look how great this Spider-Man looks. And let's probably switch these hands out. We want to switch them both out. Let's take a look, because I don't want him to have two fists. Alright. So this Spider-Man, first of all, looks absolutely great. Look at that. Look at this cool head sculpt. Let's see how far back his head goes. You know, decent back. Doesn't go all the way back like we'd want it. It's Spider-Man. We want his head to go far back. It goes really far down, so that's good. This neck collar right here on his neck kind of restricts some of the movement. Let's see. Okay, his head pivots a little bit, turns really well, pivots on that turn. Look at that. And then he too has that butterfly joint, so I'm extremely excited about that. Look at this stealth suit. Looks like it may lack a little bit of detail. I liked how, look, we can see there's clearly supposed to be texture on the suit, but oh well, that'd be neat. But obviously it still looks great. Look at the awesome sculpt we have here. Look at the little details they did put. That looks so great. Look at the suit. He's got this really cool utility belt. It's attached. This is the waist. Has decent ab crunch. The crunch going back is good. But going forward is not anything amazing. Would have appreciated going a little bit further since it's Spider-Man. All right. So the arms go around well. They turn. They're really well-built arms. Look at that. Moves on the high part of the bicep. He does arms come in with a double joint really well. The wrists go back and forth and around. Look at that. Same thing on this one. Now we don't want him like just put up your dukes, put up your dukes. We want to switch this to our web casting hand. We can look at that. Cool gloves. Alright, so we'll do this like this. Interestingly enough, this one shows all the fingers coming out through shortened fingers on his gloves, and this one shows that these two are not. So I wonder if that's just a paint oversight. Not sure, but that looks absolutely wonderful. And look at the detail on this, like almost like tactical stealth suit. Okay, it moves right here. This part's kind of glossy, and I don't know if that's intentional or just a really cool choice. So we have that. That looks great. Look at these awesome. This suit's just overall awesome, and I can't wait to see it. Look at these cool boots. Look at that. Look at the little tactical gear there. Look, he moves well. His hip joints could stand to be a little higher than that, because if this is all he crunches in and that's all his legs move up, obviously we'd want them to move a lot higher up since he's Spider-Man. Let's see, we have double joints right here at the knees. Look at that. That's pretty well. And then of course moving the high part of the thigh. So that's amazing. And then of course, let's see, we have point and flex extremely well there. So let's see what we can get with this Spider-Man. We obviously want him kind of on the defensive right here, because he's learning. He's not sure what's going on with Molten Man and so on. Not sure what scenes he's going to be wearing this suit in. So that looks really awesome. Look at that. So I'm going to put these hands back. I don't know if we need him with both hands casting, unless we have them both shooting out like that. We could do that, but maybe some other time. So right now we're going to put these two hands away. And let's take a look at the other head sculpt. Now, I love the way this looks. It's cool. It's like we could swap these out. Now my fear is, look how this is attached. Look at that. If this doesn't slide out, and it does not, I was just like, maybe it does. If it doesn't slide out, then I'm afraid when we try to force it on, we could crack this off. Even though this part is soft and flexible, this middle part is not. And we have to super glue it, and that's the last thing I want to do. So I'm going to show you what that looks like, because I'm sure this isn't intended to be swapped on and off often. It is a cool feature, but it will be difficult to grasp this head and still be able to push it on. So you know what, may as well do it, because that's what we're here for. We're here for a full review. And it was actually hard to pull this off, and I was having to really pinch it like that, so you'd see where it might be hard on where it's got that visor. So my advice would be, let's see, turn it backwards and then spin it around. Ugh, look at that. It's still really cool. Look at that. I'm gonna prefer this, obviously. It's almost like a Spider-Man Noir, almost, but obviously Spider-Man Noir is supposed to be set in the early part of the 1900s. So this is Stealth Suit Spider-Man. All right, and look, what did we just talk about? This arm doesn't fully extend down. Okay, so let's have him looking in this direction. Let's bring this on up here, and that looks really cool. This looks absolutely great in my opinion, actually. So we need to change his center of gravity. Let's put this head back. Let's set him up right on over here. Look how great that looks. So we'll have one Spider-Man shooting that way, one of them shooting this way, and then Mysterio's like, what's going on here? What's the deal? There we go. See if we can have Spider-Man. There we go. So I think that looks really cool. We don't want him to upstage our Mysterio, but nonetheless, look at that. It looks really cool. Both Spider-Men are shooting web out. There we are. So, alright, let's move on to our next figure. And so, oops. Hydro Man. I'm super excited about this one because it's just so great. If you've seen this guy out anywhere, he's awesome. Now the only thing I would have wished was that he had interchangeable arms, so he could change them into just normal arms for a little bit, but or the option to have one water arm and one normal arm, or that this clipped on the way these do. But anyway, you'll see. Nonetheless, he's an absolutely outstanding figure, and yeah, so look how great this artwork looks. He's shooting out water here, and there he's like water dripping off of his arm, or his arm is just dripping, I should say. It's the same picture on the back. He comes with, let's see, number 3. He comes with the head of Molten Man. We just saw that. And let's see what it says here on the back. It says, Hydro Man, knocked into the ocean by Spider-Man during the testing of an experimental generator. Morris Bench gains the ability to transform his entire body into water. Wow, look at that. What a great picture. What a great figure. Let's get him on out of here. And if you'll notice, he's actually really heavy. He's really heavy, and we could imagine. So let's get our Molten Man head out. He's pretty tight in there, actually. And look at this. Wow, it's like a skull and like teeth. This is dripping down right here, and this melting metal. Look at that. So the cool way they did this was it's actually just this clear orangish, and they just painted the top of it with this. So that's cool. So we'll set that aside. Let's get him on out of here. That's awesome. Alright, so if you'll notice right away, the water parts on his feet, those pop off because they just clip on. And then his arms are like super heavy. Just making sure that that part is clear, that his arms are super heavy. So let's take a closer look. Look at this. This is a pretty good head sculpt. I'm digging what they did in the hair, even with the little hair flip. I think they made him a little too wrinkled. Look at that. It's kind of leathery, but still a pretty good head sculpt. His head goes pretty far back in a good way, and really far down, so that's awesome. We can turn and pivot his head really well. His arm clicks around, but nice and solid. Look at that. So same thing here. I love the way they did this with the shirt, because obviously, you know, it's a good job with the mold. It looks realistic with these wrinkles, and then plus it almost looks like wet, right? Look at that. Look at these arms. They're not the exact same. This one has this little part looping around over. This one does not, so they're independent sculpts. And then they do slightly have an elbow. Slightly, look at this. And that's about it. Same thing on this one. Look at that. That's all you can move it, so you really have to move the whole shoulder. Now we do have an ab crunch here. It goes down that far and back that much. I will say this, the arms are pretty heavy. Depending on how you pose them, it may or may not stay. He does move at the waist, and he's got a great sculpt for the jeans. Look at this. I would love to have some jeans like this. And then look at his boots. So that's cool. So he turns right here in the high part of the thigh. He's got some pretty good mobility right here for his hips. He's got really good tight double joint here on the knees. And then of course his ankles point and flex really well. So that's really exciting. Okay, and then let's see. So we have this hand which has a good wrist. Look at that. And I love how it's an open like claw. I'm gonna get you with the claw. Look at that. That looks awesome. And then this is a fist, so you can be like whoosh, with a water fist. So as I mentioned before, it can be difficult to get him to stand and balance. Let's see, because then he starts to lean forward. Obviously, if you have his arm up, if his arms are down, he's easier to balance. However, you want to be able to have action sequences where his fists, his arms are really like posed out. So that can be really cool. This can be really cool. My advice is if you need a stand, use it. So because of the fact that he's going to be hard to hold a good center of gravity. Now that being said, we have these. Look, these look really cool, and they only fit on one side because then they'll be hitting the other. Now you could interchange them, but it wouldn't make much sense as they're both shooting water out away from his body. But look how cool that looks. So all you gotta do is push these on. Look. And that's it. It's super easy, and they look great. And they make his whole body look like water just because of that. I'm gonna click them more down. And so that looks outstanding. And let's put them right on over here. And let's lift that up so that that looks cool and it doesn't interfere with our Spider-Man right here. There we go. So we can put him like this. Let's actually bring this arm to, oops, not what I was intending to do. Let's bring this arm down like that. And look how cool that looks. There, perfect. So we got everybody lined up and going pretty well. Sorry, I dropped him and then everybody started falling down. So, all right, let's move on next. Let's see what we got. We've got Doppelganger Spider-Man. And wow, does this look crazy. Very reminiscent of the 6-arm Spider-Man that we did a couple months ago. And of course, this one is like that as far as the build. But of course, it's not just these arms that have sleeves, it's all of them. And it's not just a bunch of fists either. So let's take a closer look right here. And this is a really cool picture. Unfortunately, it's just the same one 3 times. But it is a mirror image right here. Look how cool that looks. Look at those feet and look at those claws. That looks really cool. And then this Molten Man arm right here. So Doppelganger Spider-Man. And let's see what it says right on over here. It says, Doppelganger Spider-Man. An evil, mindless duplicate of Spider-Man infused with supernatural energy by the Demo Goblin. The 6-armed doppelganger has deadly claws and can shoot razor-sharp webbing. And he looks super awesome. Look at that. So let's get this bad boy on out. So number 4. 4 corresponds with the right arm, of course, right here. And boom, let's get him out. Let's take a look at this bad boy and let's see what he's all about. So, let's take a look at this Build-A-Figure arm first. Looks cool, and look how it's more like burn looking right here on the bottom part. More of a normal type hand, big but normal-ish. And it turns right here, look. Awesome. So I'm assuming it goes this way, even though it's like this. It's probably like that, because look, it lines up pretty well. And this probably turns like this. I don't know, whatever. Cool, set that aside. Let's get our doppelganger out. He's really extremely neat looking. So, let's see. That's pretty cool. Alright, so let's take a closer look. Let me bring this a little further down right here. And let's zoom in still. So he's got all these teeth. So, I mean, the paint job's coming off a little bit. It'd been neat for there to be lines in between, but I guess I can always customize it myself. So that looks cool. Oh no, look how loose this wrist is. Anyway, I was like, what was that? That was moving and touching me. It was that wrist. Let's see what good articulation we have. We got extremely amazing head movement right there. It was really far down and back. And look at this. Out and back. And then don't apply too much pressure here, because right here it's attached, but I mean, if there's too much pressure applied, this jaw could crack off. Just making sure you understand that. And then of course, look at these nice fluid movement right here on the shoulders of all of these arms. Look at that. So this is a really thin joint right here above the bicep, so you might not want to just push from there. You probably want to support from the shoulder. Look at that. And it clicks pretty hard. So this one's a lot easier to move, so you probably don't have to pay attention to that as much, but this one is definitely stiff, so you want to support the joint by pushing on here instead of here, because look, so here. Okay, so let's see, these other arms, they click pretty well, they move pretty well. Look at that. So you're good as long as you just continue to support the shoulder, and same thing here. Now, I don't know how I feel about having the hands mismatched, and I don't like that this is super loose, but what we might want to do is match the hands up. Let's put the fists with the fists and the open hands with the open hands. So let's see, let's pop this bad boy on out, let's pop this one on out, and let's swap them out here. And look, still a little bit loose, I guess, and this one. So nonetheless, there is no ab crunch, there's no turning at the waist, which is unfortunate, because I think we could still support, maybe not an ab crunch because of all these arms, but we could definitely support turning at the waist. But look, there's really good articulation in the legs. Legs go really far up, see, higher than a 90-degree angle. I've got really good double joints on the knees, good mobility there. And then we have here where it turns right here at the high part of the shin. Look at these claw feet, interesting. Look at that. Okay, so same thing here. I like the texture on the suit for the legs. Look at that. Really good double joints. And then of course, as I mentioned, moves higher than 90-degree angle, so that's awesome. But since he can't bend in the abs, it might be a little bit pointless. So let's see what we got here. Look at these fists. So maybe we can bring these arms down. Look at that. Bring these up like this. And there we are. Look at that. All right. So we're gonna have him like creepy crawling. Look at that. And since we can't bend him over at the waist, I think that will still work. Yeah, we did right there. Just gotta be mindful of the feet. And how can I get this to? There we go. There we go. Look at that. So that doesn't look awesome. I think that looks absolutely great. Let's turn this wrist, which is really loose. There we go. That looks absolutely outstanding. I love it. And yeah, let's just fan these out a little bit. So tell me that doesn't look absolutely amazing. I forgot to look at the back. Look at that really cool classic spider symbol right there. Yep. So that looks absolutely outstanding. Look at that. Tell me that doesn't look awesome. Coming closer. Look at that. Look at all these characters too. All right. We're gonna move on. That was outstanding, and yet we still have Let's see, we have 1, 2, and then the Build-A-Figure left. All right, so moving on. Next, we have Spider-Woman. And look at this, looks super cool. I don't know if I'm digging that hair sculpt. It looks like the hair's like whipping around a whole lot, like kind of crazy. And kind of falling down right here, but overall, I really like the way the character looks. Look at this awesome art on the side. And this is the mirror image over here. And the same picture on the back. It's a really cool picture though. She is number 5. 5 comes with the chest and the back. And look at this. It says, Spider-Woman. Julia Carpenter becomes an ally of Spider-Man and the Avengers after she is given spider-powered abilities by a secret government experiment. Wow, almost threw it off there with a mispronunciation, but she looks awesome. Let's get her out. Friend of Spider-Man and the Avengers. This looks really cool. Look how it's glowing because there's just so much orange. Wow, and it's neon. That looks absolutely, absolutely great. Look at that. Wow. Look. Interesting. So they have it attached here. And look at that movement. We'll take a closer look at this, obviously, when we close this bad boy up. We'll set this aside for now. Molten Man. And let's take a look at this. So we have one like this web casting hand. I don't know how I feel about that. It looks like a big garbled. It's more like just gonna play like that game where you catch this with just your hand, and it's like lacrosse except it's not on a stick. It's right there on your hand, kind of like in Tron. Doesn't come to me right now, but all right. Let's take a look at this. Let's put this aside. Let's take a look at our Spider-Woman. So it looks really neat. I'm digging the overall, the design. I love the way this spider looks right here. It just pops right there. The way it comes to a point right there. Cool. The way it comes, there's the same thing back in the front. Look how it connects right there. That looks awesome. I do like the way the hair looks kind of flowy here. It's a little flat here, but I'm not so excited with the way it necessarily looks here in the front. But overall, okay. I can dig it. Head moves pretty well. I like what they did with this sculpt of the face. I just would have liked different hair. Either way, let's see. Ooh, the shoulder's tight. There we go. And it doesn't move with the bicep, so if you'll notice, you don't have to worry about that part necessarily being cracked off from pushing it there, but I'm trying to loosen up the arm just a little bit. That's how tight it was. Okay. Spins all the way around. That's both of them. I think if we pose her, we're going to want to show this part of the hair showing as if it's like moving. Hair moves this far. Oh, wow, the head moves really far down. But it doesn't move that far back because it's restricted right here. Her mobility moves right here underneath the rib cage. Okay, doesn't turn at the waist. You can see her belly button. And we got some really good double joints here for the knees. Let's see the hips. It's awesome because it comes super high up. Look at that. Definitely what you want on a Spider-Man or Spider-Woman. The ankles move really well. Look at that. Point and flex really well. So that's outstanding. And yeah, let's see. Look at the elbows move in at about a 90-degree angle. Look at that. They turn, and the wrists go back and forth. Their fingers are extremely long. And same thing for this one. Let's see. Do we have it going the correct way? Why does it feel like it's going the wrong direction? Maybe it is. Oh, it was. Look at that. And then I guess it's not the exact same hand, but a very similar one. But I feel like this is like the hands for our MJ from our Spider-Man. Look at that. Homecoming. So we'll set that aside. Of course, MJ can fit in here because it's the same character. So let's see what we got. Let's see what happens when we switch this out. Which hand is it? It's supposed to be this right hand. Pop that off. And I don't know how I feel about that. Not sure yet. Obviously, I might leave it on there. And let's have her whipping that out there like that. And yeah, so that might be kind of cool. Spider-Woman, rocking that. The thing is, let's have her leaning, right? I don't know if I'm necessarily a fan of the shape of this, but still, looks cool. I wish I could put her head a little further down, but we can't. So let's just have her make sure she's leaning back and putting a lot of force out. There we go. So let's set her on up over here. Let's see how that looks. Nah, let's get rid of that. I'm not feeling it. The way that looks, it looks a little too rushed. Let's put this back on. Let's move her wrist out, which it should be. There we go. And we'll just have it like that. I have her getting ready to cast some web in a minute. There we are. Okay, so we'll make her simple, just like that. How's that right there? It's good. She's just bracing, she's jumping. It's good. I'm digging it. All right, let's move on. And let's put this thing back. I wasn't really feeling like this big old jellied mess right there. So, you know, maybe that's what it looks like, but wasn't feeling it. All right, let's go ahead and move on. So next, and our last figure in this set before I build a figure, it is Marvel's Scorpion. And he looks very similar to the art. Of course, the art shows that his nose and mouth would not be underneath part of his mask, but it's not what it looks like here. So let's bring this up. It's the same picture all three times except mirror image here, and it looks really cool. It comes with the Build-A-Figure piece for number 6. That's the right leg, the thin leg of Molten Man, and that looks awesome. Look at this. This is actually great art right here. And let's see what it says right here for Marvel's Escorpion. Just kidding. In order to track down Spider-Man, Mac Gargan undergoes an experimental procedure to fuse his body with an animal, becoming the super-powered criminal Scorpion. And certainly looks really cool, and let's get him out of here. And what I really liked was, man, look how long this tail is. And when we take it out, it's gonna look even more epic. It's just so long. Look at that. All right. So here's this leg. It'll be the last piece for our Build-A-Figure. Well, it doesn't really bend too much, just goes like that and that. And then here for the foot, and then pivots. So we'll set that aside. You can see this big old angled mess here of parts. All right, let's take a look at Mac Gargan and Scorpion. And what's really neat about this figure, and you're about to find out, is the fact that this is bendy and posable. It doesn't stay exactly how you left it, so you have to work at it a little bit. See, it goes back, and then you work a little bit more, and then it goes. So it takes a little bit of work. But we've done a video on this Scorpion previously, and it is fun and awesome. It was. And so we can set this up, and let's just take a look at, before I start messing with the tail. I'm gonna get ahead of myself. So let's zoom right on in here. Let's take a look at the head, and wow, the head goes extremely far back. Exactly what we would like in a Spider-Man or Iron Man. Look at that. Tilts and pivots, turns. Let's see, the arms they kind of click when they turn. Look at that. But they turn really well. And then some great shoulder movement. Some great mobility here in the upper part of the bicep. But he's got such big triceps that they hit when you have the body close. See, it pushes the arm out. Look. Okay. Double joints at the elbow, so it brings the arms pretty far in and really well. Look at this open hand and tilting wrist. This is a good fist. Look at that. Turns at the waist. In a weird way, ab crunches here. Look at this piece here. But it still ab crunches back because forward it only goes so far because it's restricted here. This apparatus here. We got double joints of knees. We do have that extra shin joint right there. And right here moves the ankle really well. Look at that. Got a slightly different color here than here. Looks this one's more like shimmer metallic looking, where this one's more flat green. So look at this. It's a lot of tail to pose out there. So I'm gonna have him setting up like that. There we are. And then so we want to push this just a bit further this way. And look at this. The apparatus is attached to its back. And we can definitely, how do we want to bring this? Do we want to bring it around this way? Let me zoom out and go up. So you can see. Wow, look at that. Yeah, let's bring it out through here. Since he's over here on this side, let's bring this tail down. And let's bring it up like a cobra. Why not, right? See? There we go. Right now it's too far away from the body, so we're gonna need to bend it in like that. Look at that. There we go. And then we can pose it this way. There we go. So it's not the easiest thing. It takes a little bit of working at it, but still awesome. Now, let's see. It's not super easy to pose them with this. I will say this. And these legs feel a little bit softer than I would have liked. But still. Let's see, we can push him down to here. And yeah, that's great right there. Look at that. We'll bend this one final time so that it's coming out like a snake. Look at that. And I'm going to come down so you can see how it looks from down here. And it took a little bit of working, but look at that. Looks awesome. I think it does. And that's really what matters. There we are. Bring it in right there. So I'm really digging it. Now I'll probably round this out just a little bit more so it's not so stiff looking. But look at that. So we'll set this bad boy up right here. Let's untilt that head. Let's bring this leg down. Look at that. Ooh, it's kind of standing him up. There we go. And there we are. It's still not getting his foot on the. There we go. Cool. Sorry. I didn't realize that I was off camera slightly. Sorry, guys. Set that up like that, where you can see the scorpion tail coming out. There we go. All right. So tell me that wasn't awesome. So before we move on to our last figure, our Build-A-Figure, let's take a close look at how awesome these characters are. They're absolutely outstanding. And now let's do our Build-A-Figure piece. Well, character and pieces. All right, so we have this. We have this, this, and this. Wow, look at all that. Okay, so obviously first we're gonna need to put this on the body. Looks like it's gonna be permanent when this clicks in right here. But if you'll notice, look how this looks from the inside. There's a little bit of movement there, a little bit of turning. Look at that. And this is what the inside of a Build-A-Figure looks like. It tilts back and forth, inside to side and around. Interesting. Okay, so we are going to click this closed right here. Make sure that those align and click and click. Look at that. So I'm assuming this is the front. Look, oh, this part we need to pull out this way because that's where his head's gonna go. We pop that right on in there. There we go. Look at that. So that looks cool. No, you know, I wonder if we put a flashlight, if it would help out any. Look at that. It does glow up more. Look at that. Which, that looks outstanding, actually. Look at that. See, this is what it looks like normal. What it looks like if we can put a light in there. Well, that would be awesome if we came with a light. Look at that. So, nonetheless, we know what we got here. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this light off. And let's start putting the other pieces of our figure on here. Let's see, we've got this leg right here. Let's pop that on. Uh-oh, do I have them backwards? Let's make sure I don't. I think I do. Do I have them backwards? Sorry guys, didn't mean to. Let me make sure that I have everything right. Looks like this is supposed to here, and here. Okay. Sorry guys, let me confirm all this. I definitely don't want to put this guy on wrong. Clearly this is the front because you can't have the head on this side. But is this spun around backwards? Let's see, because this looks like this would be the thin leg. And this looks like this would be the fat one. See, because it doesn't fit. But that would mean this is on. There we go. I'm assuming that's what the problem was. There we go. Here we are. Now if I put this on wrong, you're welcome to comment, because that's obviously not what I want to do. And let's see, this goes in here. Look how this shoots back like that. I'm assuming this goes like this. And I'm assuming this goes right here. Look at that. So this is an interesting figure. And he's big and bulky. So let's bring this down. And wow, he looks a little crazy. Look at that. Oops. This is a pretty small little peg to go in there. Should have made that a little more heavy duty. But nonetheless, let's take a look at him. Let's go back up. Sorry, I came closer, but I was like, let's take a look. Obviously the head moves slightly, about that much. The arm does rotate, clicks, oops. You move it all the way around, it pops out. Found that out. Moves this far in and out. Wow, pretty far in and out. Moves this much, look at that. That's really good. Moves really well right here at the wrist. Look at those fingers. And of course he's melting. He's supposed to be kind of like a gorilla, kind of walking on his hand, I'm assuming, his fist. You can see we were showing you right there, this is where he moves. He moves at the waist, look at that, and around. And then he still moves a little bit here. So he's got double joint right there. See, turns here and here. This shoulder click, click, click does move. Turns in the high part of the bicep. Moves in and out that much. And then this wrist looks like it should move. Ooh, I don't want to crack it off. So let me support it. There it goes. It does move back and forth, but it took some loosening up. Look at this cool beam coming out right there. Well, it's not technically cool, obviously, but it's cool looking. And then the legs move here. Look at that. And then this one moves here, and then turns in the high part of the thigh. And of course our feet also. So let's see. He's clearly meant to have his legs bent. He's clearly meant to be supporting himself with this arm. And then let's see. That looks really cool, actually. Look at that. And I wish he glowed from the inside, because that would be really outstanding. Look at that. That looks really, really cool. Let's try that flashlight again. Let's see how that works. Let's see how that works. Maybe we can flash a little bit in through there. Look at that. See, look how cool that would look if we could get the light in there. Wow, look how awesome that looks. So I'm sure we'll figure out a way. What if I just put it here? Still kind of works. So guys, Wow, let's just set us up with a final pose down for everyone. And yeah, we'll get this wrapped up for today, especially since we're getting ready for the movie to actually come out. So let's take a closer look at him, and then let's get it. Wow, look how great that looks. And we'll get everybody posed up. Isn't that crazy? It actually looks really cool. All right, let's get everybody posed up. All right, and here we go. Look how outstanding these action figures now look. I'm loving these poses. I'm loving these figures. This whole set is just so solid. There's Mysterio. So guys, again, if you have not already subscribed to our channel, please subscribe below. Hit the notification bell next to it so you get notified every time we have a new video come out. Talk to us in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know where in the world you're watching from, guys. And if you stuck around to the end, guess what? We're going to be giving one of these bad boys away, or maybe more than one. And so, all you got to let us know is where you're watching from in the world. Tell us in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribed. Give us a thumbs up. And yeah, we'll be talking with you soon. And we'll be doing the giveaway in a few weeks. So you'll have plenty of time. And so all throughout July. So guys, thanks again for watching Vince and Gigi's Super Channel G. Will notify our winner in August. So thanks again, guys. See you soon. Bye.